I was walking my dog Bailey on a leash, and we were viciously attacked by a pit bull. He came charging. He was already halfway across the street. I didn't know where he came from, and he had my dog down. He had a hold of his back leg. He bit his stomach. He had his collar. I was screaming. I couldn't get the dog off of him. There was no collar on him. And he stopped just momentarily, that the neighbor was not home, but I grabbed his trash can and put it over him to protect him.
A trash can? And you were able to cover him and
Right.
protect him that way?
Protect him that way. And then I went to the neighbor's house. Between screaming and banging on my neighbor Jesse's house, he came out with a bat. I really felt Jesse saved my life. And I was able to get to my car, go back to Bailey, and Jesse helped me get my dog into the car. And
The injuries were massive.
massive. The back, hip, and leg were crushed. Internal injuries, the neck.
Are you Jesse?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Could you come up, please? So tell me what happened. What did you see, Jesse?
I didn't see the actual attack.
Okay.
She came to my house, terrified, screaming, and the pit bull was right there, right in front of her.
How would you describe the pit bull?
Big pit bull, vicious looking, brown and black mixed.
Not leashed?
Not leashed,
and
no collar. No collar, and I kept eyes on that dog the whole time. And I called my wife, and she said, animal control is going to be calling you, and they're going to be on their way. The animal control officer showed up. I said, that's the dog right there. The control officer got this big net, threw it over the dog. The dog was mad. He told me, go to my truck and get this collar. I have a steel collar with a rod in it. Go get it for me. So I ran to his truck, came back, and he was just viciously just going like this, trying to get out. So he's fighting this dog. It was a long fight. It lasted probably about 15 minutes. I said to myself, if this dog gets out of that net, it's not going to be good here. He's going to attack both of us. First
of all, it's very laudable that you invested yourself in this way, but we'll get back to you in a moment.
Yes.
You can sit down.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Ross, how old is your dog?
3 years old.
No. And how would you describe your dog? Madam, you raise your right hand. Why?
Can I come up and be
Yes, sure, come on.
I appreciate that.
What,
So to answer your question.
how old is he?
5.
5 years old.
You had him since 2019.
You're Mrs. Ross?
Yes.
Okay. And may I ask if your dog was neutered?
Not prior to July 18th, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Since then, he
But
has been.
Aren't you required to neuter your dog?
I'm not specific with dog law, so
Okay.
this is new to me if that's the case.
So when had you last seen your dog on that particular date?
When I noticed the dog pound was on our street, I looked for my dog and told my wife to call the dog pound, because when I called him, he didn't come.
Where was he before that?
In the backyard.
In the backyard.
The backyard?
Yes.
Unleashed?
Yes, I don't put no leash on.
Uncollared?
Yes.
I'm going to pass
Okay.
this to Judge Terwelder.
What do you want to say, Ms. Ross?
It don't seem like no evidence was presented. Everything seemed like word of mouth and he say. And then it seemed like a liability. If the animal shelter was in need of assistance, they wouldn't just call on a random person out to get something on my truck when you're not familiar with that. He work for animal shelter? So to hear the story, it just sounds suspect. But when we noticed that our dog Shadow was not on our property, I reached out to animal shelter, and what I was told was, we don't have your dog at our shelter. Let me call the field rep. I spoke with the field rep. He said, yeah, your dog is in his custody. You can come get him in a couple of hours. And what I was also told was that he put up some resistance, but that's not unusual. So they're trying to paint the narrative like he was so vicious. Who, human or animal, want to go with a stranger and get put in the back of a truck?
Well, we can clear up the identity now. Ms. Gallegos, you obviously had a good look at the dog that attacked your Bailey.
Yes.
Correct? Was it this dog? And this is Defendant's Evidence Exhibit A.
Yeah.
This is a dog. She's identified your dog. Do you know why she'd lie about that?
I don't know. I just know that we had Shadow for 5 years, and he's a part of our family and then been around all 5 of our grandchildren from new birth up until the oldest is 5. And they grew up together. And he never exhibited no signs of aggression towards an animal or a human. Now, he didn't got out of our yard and went to the next door and got that dog pregnant. when all in all, he's not looking to do anything. So what I feel is that he was either provoked or he was trying to defend himself.